What's up, everyone? Elmi here, and today I'm going to respond to another request. I've been looking into quite a few of them lately, and I'm going to start off with one of the oldest ones that have been listed there. And this is another one by Billy Mount, and it reads, React to WatchMojo's top 10 worst Hollywood directors. Here's a link. Now, I've seen a couple of WatchMojo's videos, and they're pretty entertaining. Pretty psyched to see what directors they deem the absolute worst, because there are quite a few bad ones out there. And I feel like if there's just one filmmaker that deserves to be on their list, it would have to be Uwe Boll. He is my least favorite filmmaker for many different reasons. If I had to tell you why he's the worst in my book, we would be here all day. I'll just leave it at that for now. So let's get going on this. Top 10 worst Hollywood directors by WatchMojo. Go.
The bigger the hit, the harder it sucks.
They've directed some of the worst big-budget Hollywood films around, and somehow they're still getting work. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 worst Hollywood directors. For this list, we're looking at the directors who may have had some hits, but also have an overwhelming number of misses under their directorial belts, and are generally considered terrible.
If we're gonna die, I want you to know something. I was in a pharmacy a while ago.
This one's terrible.
Really good-looking pharmacist behind the counter. Really good-looking. I went up and I asked where the cough syrup was. I didn't even have a cough.
Number 10, Steven Brill. With his filmography including such cinematic flops as Without a Paddle,
That was good.
Seth Green.
and Little Nicky,
This movie's stupid. Really stupid.
Brill's movies have been universally panned. Horrible scripts are punctuated by horrible direction, making for a unique combination of awful.
Maybe it was because of this cake I ate earlier.
While Brill has written and acted in some okay films, including everyone's favorite hockey movie, his attempts
that's the
at
one thing he
directing
got right.
fall short. He has more movies set for future release, ensuring the world hasn't seen the last of his movie failures.
You just need to take a couple of real deep breaths and you'll get over it.
Number 9, Tyler Perry.
Now hold up, wait a minute, let me put some tension in it.
He may have found a way to fund his stage-to-screen films without the use of major studios, but it doesn't mean his movies have been any good. With his slew of Medea films and Woman Thou Art Loose plot themes, Perry's films have continuously towed the line between boring and predictable. More often than not, they've seemed like an excuse for him to dress in women's clothing. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
I'm living for the Lord. I am living for the Lord. I am living for the Lord. Hallelujah. I feel him down in my spirit. My soul cries out, hallelujah. Thank God for saving me.
Number 8, Brian Levant.
Oh.
In spite of the fact that he's never made one decent film, he still seems to find a way to make more.
We're trying to tell you didn't belong here.
As the
A lot of his
director
movies are
such
stupid.
gems as The Flintstones in Viva Rock Vegas,
I am here to observe your species' mating rituals. So, get to it.
and
Jesus.
Snow Dogs,
You're adopted.
Not to mention Christmas Story 2.
Levant seems to excel at making truly dreadful movies disguised as family films. He even manages to miss the mark of his movies being so bad they're good, with most just being shockingly terrible. Number 7, Rennie.
Yeah, like Christmas Story 2, I think was like one of the worst films that he did. And Christmas Story 2 is definitely the kind of sequel that makes you think, just because you can make a sequel to this, it doesn't exactly mean that you should. Anyway, let's continue. Rennie Harlan, huh?
Berlin. Although some of his films have been moderately successful, with Rambling Rose even landing him some critical acclaim,
I find that unbelievable.
one can't forget the man who brought us the adventures of Ford Fairlane,
Bitches! Let's dance!
and The Covenant.
No one ever told me.
Yeah, I was told this one's pretty bad.
Effects, the damage.
He even managed to set a world record for the biggest box office failure of all
Cutthroat
time
Island.
with 1995's Cutthroat Island.
See, I took your balls.
When you've made it into the Guinness Book of World Records for how badly your films do, something is wrong.
You're a liar, man. You don't care. You don't care about nothing.
Number 6, John Whitesell.
Don't be hating.
He's responsible for Malibu's Most Wanted, Deck the Halls, and the Big Mama's House sequels.
I swear, if I see a Sheboygan, all hell's gonna break loose.
Suffice it to say, White Cell is not aiming for quality filmmaking. While there may be room for feel-good entertainment and
Deck the Halls,
blue-collar
this
humor,
one was
he
just
seems to be
really...
secretly in a lifelong competition for directors.
This is a
of
bad
least
comedy.
funny
How's that feel, huh? Huh? How's it feel to be invisible?
Number 5, Michael Bay.
Oh.
Bragging little bitches.
It seems as though he's been making different versions of the same movie for the last 15 years. While Bay's movies tend to be financially successful, his penchant for explosions, slow motion, and gluttonous special effects is overwrought.
Your friends will love it.
Plus, his heavy-handed approach to brain candy visuals leaves much to be desired in the way of actual direction.
Understand?
Big-budget blockbuster flicks don't have to be mindless, but Bay seems to find a way.
This is repression what you're doing here. You're ruining my youth, okay?
For Pete's sakes, you are so defensive.
Ain't that the truth about Michael Bay? He focuses more on cash grabs than making making some really legitimate work. I mean, the first Transformers movie and The Rock, those two I liked, but everything else just. I mean, Revenge of the Fallen. From that point on, I was just like, oh my god, this guy's lost it. He was focusing more on just the explosions and the slow motion rather than creating something concrete. This guy is obviously just in it for the money, maybe more than anything else. But anyway, let's continue.
Number 4, M. Night Shyamalan.
The Happening.
As a filmmaker is to try to make cultural phenomenons.
He wowed us
Yeah,
with
try.
The Sixth Sense.
I see that.
And then proceeded to disappoint us with a string of colossal plot twist failures.
I was completely surprised by all of this.
Shyamalan has struggled to follow up the critical acclaim of The Sixth Sense, choosing to maintain a supernatural element to his films, but failing to deliver on quality plots.
What?
No.
His movies seem desperate to trick their audience, making his plot twists seem forced. And let's not forget what he did to The Last Airbender.
That was his biggest crime of all. Come on. I mean, one thing that I can agree with, this right here was brilliant. That I cannot deny. But everything that came after that, all the plots that he tried to, the plot twists that he tried to add onto his movies were just really, really bad. I remember, Signs, where aliens were invading Earth, and they found out in the end that the way to beat the aliens was with water. Yeah, the aliens' biggest weakness is water. So the only thing that did for me was raise the question as to why would aliens invade a planet that primarily consists of the natural element that will kill them. But I do like Split. That one was good. So if he's trying to redeem himself now, he's still got quite a lot to make up for after The Last Airbender. Anyway, continue.
Friedberg and Aaron Seltzer.
Cindy, your ass looks fat!
Oh, these are the guys that made all those terrible parody movies.
These two have mastered the art of taking a joke and running it into the ground.
Exactly.
Their spoof films of movies like Scream and 300 are painfully unfunny.
I don't know why you always got my back for everything. I'm a responsible dog. Look at me, I'm booby feeding my baby.
With cliched jokes and cringe-worthy punchlines.
But wait! There's more!
Friedberg and Seltzer movies have somehow managed to become parodies of themselves, with their awfulness being the constant theme throughout. It's almost as if they're trolling the movie industry and succeeding.
Dear John, 2 weeks together. That's all it took to fall in love with you. And in those 2 weeks, you did things to me no guy had ever done before. I still can't ride a bicycle.
Number 2, Brett Ratner.
Oh, God.
Apparently, being a douchebag comes with directing credits.
I'm like a kid when it comes to that stuff. So.
Ratner has choked out some pretty lame films, including Money Talks, Rush Hour 3,
What? I'm not constipated anymore.
and Tower Heist.
Hey, no spitting, blue shirt.
Suck it, douchebag!
But it's his antics off camera that have made him unbearable. Between using homophobic slurs, claiming to bang and forget actresses,
Going further and further and further, and Eddie, and then all of a sudden they're butt naked, and I'm dead naked.
and his contempt for his audience, Ratner seems to have cornered the market on sleazebag directors.
But time y'all show some respect around here.
Before we unveil our top pick,
And not to mention that Ratner has had he's had a lot of sexual allegations. I mean, he's about almost as bad as Harvey Weinstein. I mean, I just cannot stand people like that. And just a few months ago, Warner Brothers decided they want nothing to do with him, so they cut ties with Ratner. I mean, can you blame them? I certainly can't.
Here are a few honorable mentions.
Anderson.
I'm just spend all my time watching my own movies.
Who were the Devil Dutch King?
When you take things that are dated and you put it in a movie, it's already dated, so it's never going to seem outdated.
If I disappointed them in any way, then I really want to apologize, because it wasn't my intention. My intention was just to entertain.
Yeah, you better apologize.
Little things here and there, and we talk about stuff, and try to steer it in the right direction. And basically, he makes me look good.
Number 1, Uwe Boll.
Thank you. House of the Dead. Oh my god. I saw this one, and it is horrible.
Boll has made some of the worst Hollywood movies on record.
True
Known
that.
for turning video games into major motion pictures, including Blood Rain and House of the Dead. Boll creates box office bombs religiously.
I would sooner rot in your dungeon than sit at your table.
He's regarded as the Ed Wood of the modern age, eliciting an online petition for him to retire from filmmaking.
I will kill him.
Boll likes to challenge his critics to boxing matches, but he should probably be thinking about another line of work.
Wenn ihr immer schreibt, ihr wollt mich umhauen, foltern, kreuzigen, erschießen, dann kommt nach Vancouver und will boxen.
What is that supposed to prove, Boll?
Do you agree with our list? Who do you think is the worst Hollywood movie director? For more entertaining top 10s published every day, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.
I'm actually glad that they had Uwe Boll as number 1 on this list, because as far as, bad filmmakers, he's number 1 on my list as well. Because he's made so many bad movies. That's really the only thing that he's known for. I mean, he's even challenged, and I'm just glad that they also mentioned that he challenges critics, anybody who talks bad about his work, which deserves to be talked bad about, and he just challenges them to boxing matches. Just beats them up. That's actually supposed to prove anything. Now, House of the Dead, that was one with the first film. That's the first video game movie that he's made, and I remember that came out in theaters when I was about, I think, 11, but I didn't see it until I was 16. I watched it on TV, and I'm just like, when I saw it, I was like, good God, is this actually it? And then when I watched that, I was just thinking, I just felt sorry for all of the poor souls that actually paid money to see that. I mean, I was thinking, how is it even possible for a movie to be that bad? I mean, and how could something like this even make it into theaters? House of the Dead, it was in theaters. And it made all this money despite how ungodly it is. I mean, there's just so much wrong with House of the Dead. Terrible story, terrible acting, terrible dialogue. And, nothing about this movie made any sense. And somehow this guy managed to keep on making movies after that one. And I'll be perfectly honest with you. House of the Dead is the only Uwe Boll film that I've seen in its entirety. And the ones after that, I saw Alone in the Dark, which had Christian Slater and Tara Reid. That one I quit watching about halfway through because it was just so painfully bad. It was just so painfully bad and unentertaining. Yeah, about halfway through the movie, I just turned it off. I was just like, you know what? That's it. I'm done. I cannot sit through this crap. And everything else, after that, I just saw bits and pieces of some of his movies just to see if any of them were any better. And guess what? They weren't. If anybody deserves to be called one of the worst filmmakers of all time, it's definitely Uwe Boll. So hope you guys enjoyed my reaction to Top 10 Worst Hollywood Directors by WatchMojo. Hit that like button if you did, subscribe to my channel, and if you have any suggestions of what I should check out next, just let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.
Fireball.